What if I told you the US government secretly experimented on its own citizens, drugging them, torturing them psychologically, and trying to rewrite their minds? Not as a rumor, not as a conspiracy theory, but as a confirmed CIA program. This is the story of MK Ultra, a project so disturbing that even today, we still don't know the full truth. Because the government made sure most of the evidence disappeared. To understand MK Ultra, you have to understand the world after World War II. The Cold War had begun. The US and the Soviet Union were locked in a silent war of fear, paranoia, and power. Then came terrifying rumors. American prisoners of war returning from Korea claimed they'd been brainwashed. Some praised communism. Others made confessions that didn't make sense. The CIA panicked. What if the Soviets had discovered a way to control the human mind? What if America was already behind? So in 1953, the CIA approved a top-secret program with a simple but horrifying goal. Can we control a human being against their will? That program was called MK Ultra. MK Ultra wasn't just one experiment. It was 149 sub-projects spread across universities, hospitals, prisons, military bases. Most of the people involved had no idea they were part of a CIA experiment. The CIA wanted answers to questions like, can we erase memories? Can we implant false ones? Can drugs force someone to confess? Can we break a person's personality and rebuild it? And most chilling of all, can we create the perfect mind-controlled agent? To find out, they were willing to cross every ethical line imaginable. MK Ultra is most infamous for its obsession with LSD. At the time, LSD was new, powerful, and poorly understood. The CIA believed it might be the key to unlocking the mind, so they started giving it to people, sometimes with consent, often without. Soldiers were dosed during training. Hospital patients were given LSD instead of real medication. Civilians were drugged in bars and brothels. Yes, brothels. The CIA ran secret safe houses where sex workers would lure men inside. Then CIA agents watched from behind one-way mirrors as the men were unknowingly drugged with LSD. This operation was called Operation Midnight Climax. And no, this is not fiction. Drugs weren't enough. MK Ultra also used hypnosis, electroshock therapy, sensory deprivation, sleep deprivation, isolation for weeks at a time. Some subjects were kept awake for days. Others were locked in dark rooms with no sound, no light, and no sense of time. In some hospitals, patients seeking help for depression or anxiety were subjected to psychic driving, a technique that bombarded them with recorded messages on repeat for hours or days. Many patients left unable to remember their own families. Some never recovered. One name stands out in the MK Ultra story, Frank Olson. Olson was a CIA biochemist. In 1953, during a retreat with colleagues, he was secretly dosed with LSD, without his knowledge. In the days that followed, Olson became paranoid, confused, and terrified. 9 days later, he fell from the 13th floor of a New York hotel. The CIA said it was suicide. But decades later, Olson's family uncovered disturbing facts. The CIA lied about how he was drugged. His body showed injuries inconsistent with a simple fall. Key details were buried for years. To this day, many believe Frank Olson was silenced. MK Ultra was overseen by Sidney Gottlieb, a CIA chemist nicknamed the Poisoner-in-Chief. He believed the human mind could be dismantled and rebuilt like a machine. Under his leadership, ethical boundaries didn't exist. If something worked, it was justified. If it failed, the subject paid the price. And the most disturbing part? Many doctors and researchers never knew the CIA was funding them. Their institutions were used as cover. In 1973, as the Watergate scandal unfolded, CIA Director Richard Helms gave a chilling order: destroy all MK Ultra files. Most records were shredded. Years later, Congress investigated and uncovered what little survived. Even then, officials admitted thousands of victims were never identified. The full scope of MK Ultra is unknown. No one was truly held accountable. Sidney Gottlieb retired peacefully. Most victims received nothing. Officially, MK Ultra was shut down in 1973. But here's the unsettling truth. We only know what survived the destruction. There is no way to confirm what methods worked, how far the experiments went, whether similar programs exist under different names, and that's why MK Ultra still haunts people today. Because it wasn't a rogue experiment, it was government policy, approved, funded, and protected. MK Ultra proves something deeply uncomfortable. Sometimes the scariest stories aren't legends or myths. They're real, documented, and carried out by people in power. So when someone says, "That sounds like a conspiracy theory," remember this: MK Ultra was real, and we may never know the full truth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into dark history, subscribe for more stories they didn't teach you in school.